Buenas tardes, buenos dias, and buenas noches. Welcome to another episode of Caldo de Risa. With Danny Archilla and
Bryan TV. I thought you were going to introduce me.
No, you know what? Sometimes I like for you to say your own name.
Hello.
Yeah, but Bryan, what is this podcast about for our first-time listeners?
Well, if this is your first time listening to us, Caldo de Risa is two Colombian comedians' exploration into their nationality and who they are as people and their place in the Colombian world.
That's right.
And of course, you can find this show along with the rest of our amazing shows at bingeonthischannel.com simply by searching Binge on This Channel on YouTube. Or anything Binge on This Channel related. You can find Caldo de Risa and a whole bunch of other great shows on there. But let's get into the caldo, as they say. How have you been, Danny? The last time we saw you, you brought your family and hang out with us, man.
It honestly was a very eye-opening experience. I'm very grateful for them. I miss them so much, but I also miss myself when I'm around them. Because it's very hard to remember who you are when they're around and telling you, hey, don't forget who you should be, which I already know, but I'm still grappling with all of this at once. So, es un mezcla de papas criollas y pan caliente. It's just to say nothing in particular.
And no one can say this isn't a Colombian podcast. And nobody can look at this.
I also don't know if a lot of people know what Colombia is, which is why we're here. We're here.
And why Danny wrote this Colombian rap.
Okay.
Go. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo soy de Bogotá.
Te
puedo decir, yo puedo comer zucaritas con leche porque yo te quiero, mujercita tan bonita. Me preguntas, te doy mi chupa, me pinga. Ay, 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 ay. Palabra a tu madre.
There's our promo. There's our promo.
I've written better raps than that. Okay.
No, I'm excited, man. It was great to have your parents in town, but I'm excited to get back to it. I'm excited to jump into the culture and let's do it. What do you have on the table for us?
Well, primero, mi amigo Bryan. By the way, thank you for holding on the fort because you're an amazing friend and also a great host.
Well, shout out to Zach Vederman, the man on the keys behind us, helping us out.
Threes and
usually,
fours.
I have the roadcaster in front of me, but it's a different time and avenue, and we're currently working on getting some lower thirds figured out for everybody, and we got a lot of things that are gonna come into play.
We're pulling a new 52 on this comic book series,
so we're getting ready. We're very excited for it. So what do you got? What's the game
Summer
plan?
of content. Well, we're gonna go in and start off with Que Dicha,
the classic.
The classic segment where we talk about a phrase and we try to include it throughout the episode, specific to Colombian culture.
Very
not
cool.
My culture.
All right.
Now, Bryan, you were nice enough to roast me last year for my birthday.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you on the spot, just like you asked me to rap. Hit me with one. Just hit me with a zinger, and I'll tell you what my dicha is.
Danny's parents are so hot. They're so fucking hot. If you looked at two people and you were like, damn, those people bang hard.
It's a little personal.
It's a roast. The fuck do you mean? It's What do you pay me for? Okay. Never mind. Here we go. Danny's teeth are so white that when he walks by Beaver expositions, they go, Que dicha, que damn,
Bryan,
que bolas.
Bryan, te quiero como un hermano, pero no me burles. No me burles, muchacho.
No me burles. What does that mean?
Burles is kind of like to say, don't mess around with me. Don't joke around with me. Don't screw with me. Stop making fun of me.
Now, is it kind of like adjacent to burlar, which is laugh?
I guess, yeah, it could be that. Don't laugh at me as well. So, yeah, if I was to say, oh, Bryan, you look like a knockoff 90s sidekick to whoever Corey Feldman is playing.
No me bull.
Yeah, that's right.
No me burles.
Right. Again, I'm not even that good at roasting myself. Yeah, no me burles, right?
Burles,
so, yeah,
burles.
Yeah, exactly. It's different from no me digas because that's like disbelief. No me burles, you're totally believing that's one of your friends is like bashing on you.
So it's like in a serious context, like no me burles way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. There you go. No me burles.
Exactly.
A fancy way for you to tell your friends and family, fuck off.
Shove off.
Yeah, leave me alone. Great. I love it. What a good segment.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of these segments.
Well, we're going into our main segment. I'm glad you are because I thought maybe let's get into like more specific topics about Colombia that I've always wanted to know about. Not just stuff I've read from Wikipedia, but like things that actually concern me.
Okay.
Like, what is FARC?
Oh, the ultimate question, my friend. What is FARC?
I thought the ultimate question was, where's my brother when I call him on his birthday? No. FARC is short for Fuerzas, Armadas, Revolucionarias de Colombia.
Okay.
So
FARC.
If you wanted to translate that, it's basically the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, aka the People's Army. So they're like a guerrilla group that's super far left, like almost communist, really.
Huh.
They're the Marxist-Lenins of South America. Martinez is giving me a thumbs up.
We're getting the thumbs up from our studio manager.
Good. That's not good. Just because they rebel against the government doesn't mean they're any better. They're actually essentially a terrorist organization.
Can I ask a question? If you had to compare them to like an American thing, I guess, like a group or any other group that might be more understandable. Like, are they like the IRA? Are they like...
They're actually friends with the IRA.
Okay, so they're kind of like that.
I was going to get to it a bit later.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
They're good pals with Gaddafi's folks over there in what's
So
it,
basically
Libya?
their whole thing is like the people should control everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like they do that through super terrorism and...
Explain.
Well, FARC is like one of those organizations where they want to just start a new world order. They want to throw down the government. They basically are looking to burn the earth to the ground, and promote old-fashioned good family values, like farming and agriculture. Like that should be the great equalizer. I'm not joking when I say it's Marxist-Leninist, because that's kind of how Russia was in a little bit, back when it was the USSR. Like all these farming technicalities just to kind of keep the general folk like level-headedly dumb, But if it means like doing away with like this pussy whipped version of a Spain of the East or the West, really, well then so be it. But that's what they were kind of after, just kind of like really stopping the Colombian government from having a chokehold on people and their money,
Do they have any like I guess like overall objectives, like a mission statement or like?
Yeah. To intimidate. They would do this by kidnap, by illegal mining, extortion, ransom. At one point, they took credit for putting taxes on the cocaine trade.
Oh,
like
really?
They wanted to pump their chests up like they were some badass motherfuckers. And in a way they are, like they've killed a lot of indigenous people in Colombia. They've kidnapped a couple of times.
Do they have, I guess, something out for, I mean, you just said maybe the indigenous people, but is there like a Jewish problem to them or not? I'm saying not Jewish, but is there an overall problem? Like, or is it just the government? Are they like kill whitey, like kill all white people?
Well, originally when they started out as El Partido Comunista Colombiano, back around World War I, their whole point was like trying to establish simpler times, like peasant leagues over there in like the rural areas and, populist fronts in the urbans, and just trying to get, like a more focused intention on education, on work reform, the rights that you would have for the working class, just a way that people could like organize themselves against like big Colombia, That was like their whole thing. But it got like kind of like out of hand because essentially like they would, adhere to like communist ideas and they would they would kill, and they would kidnap. And at some points, I think they even like had some like weird trade going on, not really with just cocaine, but like with women. Like I think they were trafficking women because there are reports that a lot of ex-FARC members would go ahead and just say, hey, I got harassed, I got assaulted, I got raped by the FARC,
So they're a homogenized kind of like they are in the sense that like ISIS and Al Qaeda are a terrorist towards U.S. They're like internal terrorists, kind of like the Klan.
Exactly. They're the largest and oldest like insurgent group in the Americas, essentially.
Yeah. So they've just constantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it to you this way. Here's a quote that I'm going to read from somebody familiar. Let's see Let's see if you can guess who it is. There is a more repression of individual freedom here than in any country we've been to. The police patrol the streets carrying rifles and demand your papers every few minutes. The atmosphere is tense, and it seems a revolution may be brewing. The countryside is an open revolt, and the army is powerless to suppress it. That was said by Che
Guevara?
Yeah. So, like, if he was feeling like that, you can only imagine how, like, actual denizens of Colombia have been feeling.
Yeah.
Which is strange because, like, I say a lot of this in past tense because not only has it happened, like, in the yesteryears, but also as recent as 2017, I've read that FARC kind of made an agreement with the United Nations to just kind of let go of the whole charade, stop being so aggressive, stop being so militaristic. However, even if it's, like, coming from the higher-ups that operations have ceased, they're like, I'll put it this way. You know how like there's QAnon for Trump and like that still rings true even after like the election has decided he's not going to be the president anymore?
Yeah.
There are people like that. There are people that are like followers of FARC that, are essentially the Colombian version of a Weezer song. 'Cause say it ain't so.
Hashtag Pizzagate.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have our pizzas with mushrooms.
Yep.
But it's a whole thing where it's tricky. It's tricky because, like, you even have Pablo Escobar at one point saying, I don't fuck around with FARC. Like, they're taking credit for shit that I don't even want to associate with. They're monsters. Escobar said that.
I mean, didn't ex-FARC members catch Escobar? Like, there was, like, a crew of people who took it upon themselves to
Yeah,
hunt him
exactly.
down.
Yeah. Like, they were all after the money. It was a real rat race, for sure, And it's not like they haven't worked with, like, Uribe or anything, talking about, like, recent history as far as, like, kind of maintaining the peace. But to be honest, that wasn't so much better either, They had several hostages, like, killed in captivity during his presidency, People like Julian Ernesto Guevara Castro. I like saying names in Spanish. A police captain who died while being held in captivity of tuberculosis. Then there were like 11 out of 12 deputies. 11 out of 12. 1 out of 12 deputies would say it's not favorable to live with the FARC. But 11 out of 12 of them can't even speak because back in 2002, they got killed. They got killed from the guerrillas. The guerrillas of FARC,
These statistics are crazy. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing, too.
Yeah.
La guerrilla. La guerrilla is something that I hear when I was younger. I heard La guerrilla, the guerrillas, you know, and is that the reference to FARC?
Yeah, I believe like the guerrillas is essentially what
Los guerrilleros.
Yeah. Like it's a guerrilla movement. It's not like absolutely 100%
like they live
sanctioned.
in the woods in the forest.
Actually, yeah, that's exactly what it is. A lot of them they live more in like the rural, like kind of farmy, almost like Andes Mountains areas of Colombia, and it's kind of weird because like you would think that they're for the greater good. But if their whole thing is through terrorism, man, I mean, I'd prefer like anonymous any day over these guys, like it's not that great. And the fact that they killed like indigenous Colombians, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of that.
Is there a number of members, or is there a statistic on how big FARC is?
FARC, actually, yeah, I have that statistic right here.
All the best
how many do you think it is? Just if you had to take a guess.
If I had to guess, I'd say about 10,000 members.
At its peak, it's actually a little less than that. I think like right now it's below 10,000, but at its peak back in the mid 2000s, early 2010s, it was at 18,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, largest and oldest insurgent group in the Americas. They're mostly located in like southeastern parts. So like I said, jungly areas, the Andes Mountains, that sort of area. But
imagine how many children are being born there that are like really good at drawing.
Oh my God.
But their parents are like, La Revolución. And he's like, I just want to.
Sure. Yeah. You're almost afraid one of them is going to be like an artist turned Hitler.
Yeah. It's like, I just want to draw Garfield. And it's like, no, we have to fight for,
Okay. So my mom and dad, they don't watch a lot of TV. Mm-hmm. And maybe we can get my father to admit this at some point. But there's this podcast. There's this TV show that they love, produced in Colombia by Colombians for Colombians, called La Niña.
Okay.
And La Niña is about an ex-FARC member who's on the run. She's essentially a fugitive from her own guerrillas, and she tries to assimilate in like modern day Colombia and basically tries to hide as if she's not a member of them anymore, but she kind of is. So, it's a little bit like
telenovela?
Yeah, like a Jason Bourne situation,
But like a lot of camera whips.
Yeah. Yeah, and then solo en cualquier network que está.
Telemundo.
It might be Caracol. I don't think it's Telemundo.
I love me some Caracol.
I love me some caracols. I love me some shrimp, dude.
I used to watch on Caracol. I watched the summer that I stayed with my grandparents in Ipiales, which is a little city down by Ecuador near the sea, mountain city. Oh, I keep forgetting I have to do. Sorry. Let me redo that. So when I went to go visit my grandparents in Ipiales, a little city down by Ecuador next to the sea.
Yeah.
We used to watch on Caracol the Highlander TV series.
I've heard about this show.
But it's in Spanish. Oh. And I watched a whole season of Highlander TV, and then I watched the Colombian version of Survivor. It was like 2005 or something like that, and I watched the whole season of the Colombian version of Survivor.
Oh my God!
Sorry. Anyways, okay, so let's get back to this.
We gotta do a bit of a binge watch of that
of some
point.
TV shows. Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Binge watch of like some Colombian TV shows. That would be really fantastic.
All right, so FARC.
Let me hit you with some quick stats.
Hit me with some quick stats.
To wrap it up.
Let me get a number. Sorry.
All right. So the United Nations have estimated that 12% of all civilian deaths in the Colombian conflict have been caused by FARC, as well as the National Libertarian Army, guerrillas. We'll talk about them in a future episode.
We have time. You can talk about whatever you need.
That deserves this whole other episode.
So hold on. So los
12% of people that died in Colombia through civilian deaths, because there's a lot of like violence that they like to do, that FARC likes to do through gas mortars and landmines.
Damn.
Like some real militaristic shit, like.
Damn. Imagine just walking and all of a sudden you just get...
No, but like this has always been kind of a thing that I've known about even since I was like younger, because like I never knew what FARC was when I was a kid. But I always thought it was weird that when I walked around Bogota with my family, when I was visiting my relatives, there would always be like tanks on every corner. And like the policemen would not dress like policemen. They dress up like they were in the army.
So you think that's FARC? You think you saw FARC?
No, that's not FARC. That's the Colombian government trying to be ready for FARC. That's the military trying to be ready for FARC, because like that's how ballistic they are, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense why our moms left.
Well, yeah, my mom had her own reasons, but
I listened to our episode last week. Your mom said there was all types of crazy shit happening there, and she didn't want y'all growing up there.
Exactly, and I'm really grateful that I didn't in a way, but I also kind of wish I did.
You would have been a badass,
reasons.
bro. You'd have been painting your eyes blood red, and you would have been like howling at the moon.
A rosary around my neck, acid wash jeans,
nice,
and probably 100 Hollister shirts.
I like that. With the collars popped up.
Yeah, some more stats really quick. 2011, they said that about 112 women left FARC because they were being forced to have sex with commanding officers, which led to the spread of like STDs and pregnancies, which was like not really great. Because then 2015, the Colombian Attorney General opened an investigation to overview 150 cases of ex-FARC women being forced to terminate their pregnancies. And it's just like, it's weird shit. You know?
Ooh, wow.
150 like abortions. I know that it's like a very sensitive topic and everything, but the fact that they even like, you know, had to deal with that in FARC, it's unbelievable, you know?
I mean, it is believable, but also that number, it's like, damn, they're batting 1,000.
Numbers are nuts.
They're like, we sent 149 women and 150 of them are pregnant.
Between 1986 and 2001, FARC, I don't know, I said FARC was responsible for 27 assassinations, 15 threats, and 14 other abuses of indigenous peoples in the Antigua department.
Damn. Now, when you say that they charge these people, is someone getting tried here? Like, is there?
I don't think they can ever like completely take down FARC. Like, it's like
you'd have to like burn down the Amazon.
It's like mites. They're like mites. You know, they spread. So as far as I'm concerned, you can capture one person, you can capture another person, but you'll never be able to capture the whole enchilada. You know.
Hit me with more statistics.
More statistics. I'll tell you what. They loved Gaddafi. They absolutely adored Gaddafi. So much so that in 2000...
Gaddafi's the guy who helped carry the ring to Mordor?
In Libya, yes. They actually sent some of the FARC soldiers to fight alongside his soldiers during the first Libyan civil war.
Damn.
They traveled across the country just to help out this guy from Libya. So they're inclusive, and they're also kind of repulsive, you know?
Yeah.
Except for La Niña, because she's cool, because she's a protagonist in a Colombian TV show where he tries to assimilate back into real life. Caracol, probably.
We're sponsored by Caracol.
I wish we were. So currently, as I was mentioning before, FARC reached an agreement with the UN. Their main chain of command is kind of like dissolved, but at this point, you're talking about numbers, about 2,000 to 2,500 dissidents still carry on the original doctrine today and continue with drug trafficking, even while it's scarce, you know? So that's
Would you say at this point in the day, like, are they at a high point or a low point?
I think they're at a resting point.
Oh, okay.
I think something's going to happen, and especially now, as we'll talk about in a future episode, the election of Presidente Gustavo Petro, that's going to do something to Colombian culture for sure. Because there was so much controversy, dude. So much controversy. My dad can't even talk about that on Facebook. Like, it's dangerous stuff to talk about the current presidents because they're...
El Facebook,
yeah. Drop the L. So I think FARC, this is my suspicion, I think FARC's going to make a sharp rise within the next couple of years during his presidency.
Are there any known leaders of FARC?
Yeah, I don't think there are. I could look them up. I could look up founders.
No, you don't have to. I just didn't know.
The thing is that like FARC, that wasn't really the intention of FARC, in my opinion. I think FARC was more or less like saying, shit, you know, like whatever Simón Bolívar did, it wasn't good enough for the people of Colombia. Right. The people of Colombia, not the indigenous and not the Spaniards, but the mestizos, the ones that got mixed up in the middle and now they're offspring. They know better the country than anybody else because they grew up there. They're first-generation Colombians. Yeah. So because of that and because of what their ancestors had to put up with, they were kind of like, saying, we're not going to take it. We gotta get things back on track. We got to get the farmlands growing. We got to get education and workers' rights understood. We got to make it like, what are those guys? The USSR, the Soviets, the communists. Yeah. We got to be like those folks, you know, and all for one and none for all. You know, that was their whole thing. So, yeah, I think it's within their brand. Of course, more research could be done to give you specific names, but man, it's not one person. It's like many little people forming one person.
There's no George Washington. It's
no. But it's a relatively dangerous thing, and I think that's why Colombia is still militarized, because the guerrillas from them and from other smaller organizations, they're just stubborn. That's who we are as Colombians. We're stubborn people. I had an argument with my mom like a bunch when I was a kid. Just like all the time, I would like argue with her a bunch because I'm Colombian.
And she'd like put her hands on your hip and go, "You're so Colombian." And you guys would be like, "Oh,
all these hips don't lie."
Well, that's crazy, and I highly suggest to the rest of you guys, if you guys want to go out and learn more, as far as like the terrorist group and and just sort of maybe ways that you could help, because I'm sure there's some way we could donate or do some way to help something, or at least bring awareness to
really
it.
The victims at the end of the day aren't really the government and aren't really FARC members. Gotcha. But I think the real victims at the end of the day are like the women that have been hurt, the children, and the indigenous people.
Yeah, it sounds like the indigenous people have been getting a lot of whoops on it. Maybe you could do an episode about indigenous people in Colombia.
That'd be ideal.
That would line up with our old show, Forever Cabron, our old show about Mexico. Shout out to FC.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta honor the original, the people, the civilians, the tenants of our Gran Colombia. So nice. I think that would be necessary. But please feel free to look up more.
Yeah, go check it out, man. It's an interesting story, and there's a lot of they've been so intertwined in the history of Colombia that it's almost impossible.
And if there's anything like key you think I'm missing out, then challenge me.
Bro.
Comment.
Apparently, some of you guys got issues, bro. Like I don't know if you know this, bro, but I'm not just here to sit here and look cute, bro. Like you got something with it. Like let us know, bro. Like
we've definitely received some blowback.
Cowards!
Recently.
I don't give a fuck about no. Listen to me, bro. My middle name is FARC, dog. It stands for fuck around and reach into my cock. FARC. My N words.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Look, here's the thing, right? We're just a couple guys trying to find out what it means to be Colombian, man. And so, I appreciate you for coming here with this today. It was a good episode about terrorism. I think that's something that we failed to mention. And of course, we're gonna come back to La Guerrilla at home, or what's going on a little bit more accurate. But I'm excited for us to kind of expand a little bit about what the episodes are. We might do something on indigenous people. Sure. Maybe I was even thinking when I was younger, we used to get in trouble for playing with tropitos, the spinners.
Yeah.
My abuelita used to say if you played with topitos or tropitos, the devil was gonna get you, and she used to beat the shit out of us when she found my cousin playing with them. But there's like a lot of toys and shit, there. But so I'm very excited. This was so refreshing, especially after your parents came back, dog, to hear about them terrorism stuff.
No, I mean my parents they know what was going on.
Should talk to them about terrorism. Well, what's our next segment, bro?
Well, I wanted to go ahead and dive into Adivina qué.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's when we dish about Colombian celebrities
that
are making it happen.
Dish.
Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look up the official press
I'll
release.
fill in some time because we're down to 2 minutes.
Yes.
So, in case you guys didn't know, our girl, Shakira.
You're talking about Vergara, right?
Got divorced. She was cheated on.
Oh, wait, that's right. We haven't even talked about that.
By her famous football husband. And I just want to say, on behalf of Caldo de Risa, what you doing, Shakira? WYD. This is me sliding into your DMs, dog. Because my hips don't lie either, bruh. Like, what's the one wolf song? I want to be your she-wolf. Be my she-wolf to my he-wolf.
No lo burles, Shakira.
No me burles. Like, come... You know what I'm saying? Like,
hang out,
bro. We're cool. You ever been spit roasted? You ever been loved by two men who've never seen each other's penises and talk? Let us know. But yeah, I can't believe it. I don't know. That just goes to show you that like anybody will do anything, and it's like love is complicated, and it's like love isn't even like really real, but it is real, and it's like emotions and like your body, and it's just kind of like you hit a point. It's like, what are you gonna do, dog? And it's like Shakita's a nice lady, so it's like crazy stuff, bro.
But she's got things handled. She's a multi.
You know what I think? I think she secretly they both wanted this. I think as time progresses, and this could be a whole nother episode. It could be the next episode of the setting.
We could do conspiracy theories.
I think we're getting to a point
life.
where like the human nature is starting to evolve past like monogamy as it once was. It's like people are getting so woke to the point where it's like polyamory and like all this wild shit and like falling in love with like horses and shit. And it's like
definitely being explored.
Anyways, so what's your thing before we go?
Well, we want to talk about our homegirl from Modern Family, Sofia Vergara.
Ooh, y'all know her as the big mommy the big mommy from Modern Family.
And from Soul Plane.
And from Soul Plane.
Yeah, she was so funny.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, she had some real good assets, dog, if you know what I mean.
I'm being PG.
Sorry, we're going into this, that, and the other territory, dog.
Nah, man.
Let's bring it back in. This is college.
Sofia Vergara, I don't know if you guys know this, but she is going to be part of a new TV series on Netflix, which I'm really excited about because it's coming from the minds of Narcos.
Oh, nice.
And that's a big deal because I want to do a whole episode. We were talking about so much about future episodes. I want to do a whole episode criticizing Narcos because I don't think they made the right move casting a Brazilian to play Pablo Escobar. But they made the right move casting Sofia Vergara, a Colombian, to play
here we go.
Griselda Blanco Restrepo, the notorious queenpin of the Medellin cartel.
Yes, sir.
If you guys don't already know, she was heavily involved within the Miami cocaine trade from the 1980s all the way up to the 2000s.
The female Pablo Escobar.
Essentially, Pablina Escobarina. But yeah, Griselda Blanco. She's gonna be playing that character.
And we all know she's got the assets for it.
Yeah, for sure. That woman, she's no joke. She had the nickname Black Widow. And,
I thought you were talking about Sofia Vergara.
No, I'm talking about the godmother of cocaine, Griselda Blanco. She died when she was killed by gunshot in 2012 after having retired from cartel life. So it's definitely going to be a tragic miniseries, a 6-episode miniseries. Sometimes I kind of like that better, you know? Sometimes a series, there's too much room to fuck up. But
it would be cool. It would be cool to watch that series like that, directed by Christopher Nolan, though, where like at the end.
No.
At the end,
no. I don't want to see Nolan.
She wakes up in that Encanto house.
No.
And she's like,
what?
All right, let's round it out.
In a word.
You got to admit. You have to admit. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go out and check it out. It's on YouTube. It'll be on Netflix. I
understand your perspective from that now. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but I will say I will die sooner than Nolan ever touching a piece of Colombian historia.
I'm not even sure what he just said, but...
No me burles, Bryan.
There we go. Nice. Sick. Well, Danny, this has been a wonderful episode, big dog. Where can they find you? And do you have any projects coming up?
I mentioned it before, but basically right now I'm in the phase of being a dormant volcano. Ooh. So all I can say is I'm subscribing, as you guys should, to this podcast, to the belief that things are better left when you underpromise and overdeliver.
I like it.
So right now, I'm at the you part of that. Ooh. I'm very early, but you'll see. For now, just follow me on Instagram at @archilla. I actually do have a show I want to plug for anybody that lives in LA. Me and Travis Van Ryn, we're co-producing a major banger of a show at Club B. July 30th.
Oh, yeah, I saw the poster for that.
I made a promo for it. Yeah. I'm working on more flyers for it. It's going to be a thing, and it's going to have all your favorite comedians you've never heard of. But they're funny. It's at Club B. It's a great hang.
Yeah.
And you might hear a little bit of a musical number from me. I don't know.
Danny's going through it.
I don't know. So July 30th, just check out Club B Nightlife on Instagram, and we'll have more details soon about tickets there. If you live in LA, say hi. Bryan.
Danny's going to be like, something in the way. All right, in the Club B. Ooh.
No. Whenever you reference a song, I got to sing it in Spanish. That's our new rule. So, Algo entre la villa. No me Burles. Algo en la vía.
Tell him.
No me burles.
It's from the movie El Hombre Murciélago. From El Hombre Murciélago. De Batman. You guys can find me as always at the real REEL_Bryan TV, guys. But most importantly, you can find us at bingeonthischannel.com. We have a comedy group, The Gauntlet Comedy. We do a lot of shows. We're working on getting a bunch of stuff set up, man. So if you guys are in town, if you guys want to support us, that's one way you can do it, by go following that page. That's The Gauntlet Comedy, just the way it sounds. No underscores, no overscores, no between scores. Just
dashes?
Or dashes. Just The Gauntlet Comedy. But most importantly, bingeonthischannel.com, where you can find such great shows as Caldo, Risa, this, that, and the other. We have old episodes of Happy News with Perry Kurtz. We have Forever Cabrons. We have Roll 420s. We have MDK Podcast. We have a bunch of other stuff. We're back. We're back. We're in it. And I'm very happy to be back.
Somos regresados en oscuro.
And as we always say,
na.
si no te gusta la primera taza. No, al que no le gusta el caldo, se le dan 3 tazas. That's us signing out. You can
No me burlas.
Or it's the theme song.
Adiós.